What is up, everybody? Welcome into this edition of Warchant TV, projecting the prospect 2020, going down every single recruit that Florida State was able to sign in Mike Norvell's first signing class. He's Michael Langston, recruit Nick Ordinaire, or rather extraordinaire. I'm Aslan Hajavandi, Director of Digital Media. Use the promo code WARCHANT30 to get 30 free days of access to the ultimate Seminole sports source. Michael, running back was one of those positions that former first-year coach Willie Taggart walked into a really nice situation, a full room, five-star running backs galore, and it seemed like Mike Norvell was going to probably inherit the exact opposite of that, but he went to work real quickly, signed a bunch of running backs, one maybe no more intriguing than a prospect from the boot state, and that's Ja'khi Douglas out of Louisiana.
Yeah, Ja'khi was interesting because throughout the whole process, we thought receiver was where he was going to be. And then, he had the booster wrap-up show on the signing day, and they said, oh, running back. So it's not totally a shocker because Ja'khi pretty much played everywhere. He played running back, quarterback, everywhere. I think he's very explosive. When you watch him, very, very good speed. When he pulls away really well as far as from defenders, and he's pretty quick. He's had some elusive, agile, he's got some agility to himself as far as when you watch his game. So those are some of the things that really, I think, stood out already about him. So
those are the wow factors when it comes to Ja'khi Douglas. Michael, what does he have to work on?
I think it's the natural speed of the game that he's going to play against as far as at FSU, where you want to see more of, the runs inside, how he gets off. You want to see him get off tackles quicker. You want to see him break tackles, and because he's used to being the star on his team, where now he's going to be surrounded by other great players and good defensive players. So he's going to have to the speed of the game is going to have to go higher. I want to see. I think he'll do really well as a pass receiving back because he does so many things athletically. So I think he's fine there. But I think I want to see just his comfort level and confidence in running between the tackles, between the hashes.
Douglas already on campus, already with a few practices under his belt. Here's what the coaching staff had to say about Douglas before he arrived in Tallahassee.
Ja'khi Douglas, receiver out of Louisiana. This is a young man I've known since he was in the 10th grade, and he's been committed to Florida State for a while now. He's a special talent. He is extremely quick, has great burst. Is a versatile player that can play in the slot. I think there are some things that he could do possibly in the backfield.
The kid's a smart football player. Kid that can run. I think he's like 10'6", 100 meter. Played more quarterback this year, but he brings a lot to the table as far as his ability, also ability in the special teams phase of football also.
Michael, you've been around recruiting a whole bunch, and you know that coaches love players that were the best athlete on their high school team. A guy like Ja'khi Douglas played quarterback, running back, wide receiver. So this is going to be kind of a difficult one. How would you project, and who can you compare Ja'khi Douglas to when you look at his game?
I didn't really think about this until they said he's playing running back, and then you watch his style running. He reminds me a lot in high school out of Leon Washington. Does a lot of different things. Leon was very fast and quick acceleration. They kind of do the same thing. Now Leon was the type where Leon would just burst ahead, and Leon gets a little slower as he goes along. Ja'khi gets faster. That's really the only difference. But the running style is kind of similar when you watch them. The way they cut back, the way they jump cut, it's kind of similar to the different things they do. Both were have some nice wiggle and cutting ability. Both really good one-cut guys. So I think Leon would be the guy that I go with that he reminds me of when I watched him out of high school.
No pressure, Ja'khi. Just being compared to one of the better running backs in recent memory at Florida State University.
There you go.
He's Michael Langston. I'm Aslan Hajavani. Thanks for watching this edition of Projecting the Prospect 2020.